Hey there, my friend. Have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, who's this person with all these laugh lines? And why didn't anyone warn me about this part of getting older? Maybe you've caught yourself creaking a little when you stand up, or wondering why nobody talks about the real stuff that comes with aging, the good, the tricky, and everything in between. Well, here's the truth. Nobody shouts from the rooftops. Aging gracefully isn't about looking 30 forever. It's about feeling alive, strong, and happy in your own skin, right where you are. And trust me, there's a lot they don't tell you that can make it even better. I've been thinking about this because, honestly, after 60, we deserve to know what's really going on. Not the polished magazine version, but the down-to-earth reality we can actually use. This isn't about fighting time. It's about dancing with it, using some secrets nobody bothered to share until now. I've picked up a few things from my own stumbles and triumphs, and I've talked to folks who've figured out how to make these years shine. We're going to unpack some of that hidden wisdom together. Practical, everyday stuff that'll have you smiling at the years instead of stressing over them. Let's start with a couple of things I wish someone had clued me in on sooner. First off, nobody tells you how much your body loves a little TLC, and I don't mean spa days or fancy creams. I'm talking about gentle care that keeps you moving and feeling good, even when the joints start complaining. I used to think aging meant slowing down for good, pushing through stiffness or skipping the walk because it felt like too much. But here's the secret. Small, steady movement is like oil for the rusty hinges. After 60, it's not about marathons. It's about keeping the engine purring with things you actually enjoy, whether it's a sway to the radio or a stroll to the mailbox. My neighbor Pat, who's 68, figured this out the hard way. She'd sit all day knitting, then groan when she stood up, blaming old bones. One day she started stretching her arms and legs while the kettle boiled, just a few minutes, and soon she was walking to the park with her dog, grinning like a kid. I didn't know I could feel this loose, she told me. It's so easy. Today, try a little wiggle while you're waiting for your coffee, or step outside for a breath of air. Your body will perk up, and you'll feel that spark come back. Another thing nobody mentions is how your mind needs a bit of playtime too. I used to think forgetting where I parked the car was the end of the line, proof I was losing it. But aging gracefully isn't about a perfect memory. It's about keeping your brain buzzing with things that light you up. After 60, we've got room to try new stuff or revisit old loves, puzzles, a card game, even doodling on a napkin. It's not about being a genius. It's about keeping the gears turning so you feel sharp and in the game. Take my friend Lou, for instance. He's 71 and used to shrug off his foggy moments, saying, "That's just age." Then he picked up crossword puzzles. Nothing big, just a few minutes with his tea. A month later, he was bragging about remembering his grandkid's birthday without a reminder. "It's like my brain woke up," he laughed. You don't need much. Grab a book you've been meaning to read, or try naming all the flowers in your yard today. It's fun, and it keeps you feeling like you. Your mind's still got plenty of magic left. There's so much more to this aging thing that nobody talks about, and I'm loving sharing these little discoveries with you. We're just getting warmed up. There's more real, honest goodness coming your way to make these years truly golden. One thing nobody tells you is how much your heart thrives on connection. Not the big, dramatic kind, but the quiet, everyday moments with people who matter. I used to think aging meant pulling back, staying in my own little world, especially when the kids moved out or friends got busy. But after 60, I've learned that a quick chat, a shared laugh, or even a wave across the street keeps you feeling alive. It's not about a packed social calendar. It's about those small threads that tie you to the world, reminding you you're still part of it. My buddy Frank, who's 66, showed me this without even trying. He'd gotten quiet after retiring, spending days tinkering alone in his garage. Then he started joining the guys for coffee at the diner once a week. Just an hour of stories and bad jokes. I didn't realize how much I missed it, he told me, his eyes brighter than I'd seen in ages. You don't need much. Today, call someone you've been meaning to, or smile at the neighbor pruning their roses. That little spark of connection will warm you up inside, and it's easier than you think to keep it going. Now let's talk about something else they skip over, how what you eat starts talking back to you. I used to plow through meals like nothing had changed. Big plates of fries, extra gravy, no problem. But after 60, my body started sending signals. Bloating here, a tired slump there, telling me it needed a lighter touch. Nobody warns you that aging gracefully means tweaking your plate, not to punish yourself, but to feel good. It's about swapping some of the heavy stuff for bites that lift you up. Think a juicy peach instead of a donut, or a handful of nuts over a candy bar. Take my cousin Linda, for example. She's 70 and loved her nightly ice cream ritual, until she noticed it left her foggy every morning. She switched to yogurt with a drizzle of honey, figuring it'd be a sad substitute. A week later, she was laughing. "I've got more pep than my grandkids now." It's not about giving up joy. It's about finding it in smarter choices. Tonight, try a little swap. Maybe some berries instead of that extra cookie. Your body will thank you with energy you didn't know you had, and it still tastes like a treat. And here's another one nobody brings up. Sleep isn't just for kids, and it gets trickier as we go. I used to think tossing and turning was just part of the deal. Lie there, count the ceiling cracks, hope for the best. But aging gracefully means giving your nights some love, because good rest keeps your mood up and your aches down. After 60, it's not about sleeping 8 hours straight like a teenager. It's about setting yourself up to drift off easier, maybe with a quieter evening or a comfier pillow. My friend Ruth, who's 73, cracked this code after years of restless nights. She'd watch loud TV until bedtime, then wonder why she was wide awake. She started turning it off an hour early, sipping tea and flipping through a magazine instead. "I didn't know sleep could feel this good," she said, looking fresher than ever. "It's so doable. Tonight, dim the lights a bit sooner, skip the late news, and let your mind unwind. You'll wake up feeling like you've cheated time, and it's worth every peaceful minute." We're uncovering some real treasures here, aren't we? There's more to this aging gracefully business that's too good to miss, and I'm excited to keep peeling back the layers with you. All right, my friend, we're bringing this home together, and I'm so glad you're still here with me. We've already dug into some honest truths about aging gracefully, moving gently, playing with your mind, connecting with others, eating smarter, and sleeping better. Now let's wrap it up with a few final secrets nobody seems to mention, but they'll have you feeling fantastic in these years after 60. This is like a cozy chat by the window, sharing what's worked for me and folks I know, and I'm talking straight to you because you deserve to shine. Let's dive in and finish strong. One thing nobody tells you is how much letting go of the small stuff keeps you light on your feet. I used to sweat every little thing, spilled coffee, a missed call, that creaky step I kept meaning to fix. But after 60, I've learned that fussing over what's done just saps your energy when you could be enjoying the day instead. Aging gracefully isn't about controlling everything. It's about shrugging off what doesn't matter and saving your spark for what does. It's like clearing the clutter from your mind, and it feels better than you'd guess. My neighbor Clara, who's 69, used to drive herself nuts over every hiccup. One time she burned a batch of cookies and spent hours grumbling about it. Then one rainy afternoon, she decided to laugh it off instead, tossed the mess and made tea. "I felt free," she told me, grinning like she'd cracked a code. It's so simple. Next time something goes sideways, take a breath and let it roll. Spill your juice, wipe it up, and move on. You'll feel the weight lift and your day will stay bright. Now here's another one they keep quiet. Your body doesn't need a fight. It needs a friend. I used to push through aches or ignore that twinge in my back, thinking I could tough it out like I did at 40. But aging gracefully means listening when your body whispers, not waiting for it to shout. After 60, and here's the final piece nobody talks about. Joy isn't a luxury, it's a must. I used to think fun was for kids or special occasions, putting it off while I handled important stuff. But after 60, life's shown me that little bursts of happiness, singing off key, watching the birds, or calling a friend to giggle, are what keep you young at heart. Aging gracefully isn't just surviving, it's savoring, and it's easier to weave in than you'd think. Those moments fuel you, and they're yours for the taking. My friend Doris, who's 75, stumbled onto this after a tough year. She'd gotten so serious, barely cracking a smile, until her grandson dragged her outside to blow bubbles. She laughed until she cried, saying, "I forgot how good this feels." Now she keeps a silly hat by the door just to wear it sometimes. You don't need much. Today, do one thing that makes you grin. Dance to an old tune, tell a bad joke, or watch a funny clip. That joy will carry you, and it's what these years are all about. So there you have it, my friend. You've got the real scoop now, moving easy, keeping your mind sharp, staying close, eating light, sleeping well, letting go, listening to your body and chasing joy. These aren't rules. They're gifts from the years we've lived, making every day a chance to feel good and strong. I'd love to know what clicks for you. Drop a comment with your own secrets, or just wave hi so I know you're out there. If this sparks something, tap that like button and subscribe. I'm here to keep sharing ways to make these years glow. You're not just aging, you're rocking it, and I'm cheering you on. Here's to thriving right now with all we've got.